We've all got a favorite pair of dress shoes, your daily go-to. You've been through a lot together, but now they're starting to show their age. The leather is creased, scuffed, and even has some cracks and cuts. I'm going to show you how to bring back your leather dress shoes from the dead. Creases form when the leather folds and flexes as you walk. Basically, the sweat from your feet causes these creases to permanently set. Unfortunately, creases are inevitable. However, like creasing, it does give your shoes a bit of character. That being said, if your shoes become too creased, you need to take action. Character is good and all, but you don't want your shoes to look sloppy. To get started, first remove your shoelaces. Now stuff your shoes with enough newspaper to imitate the shape of your foot. Now be careful not to stretch the leather too much. You want to just put enough newspaper in there to gently push out the creases. Now take a damp washcloth and use it to cover the shoe. Now take out your iron and put it on the cotton setting. We're going to use it to gently work out the creases. So as you're going over the damp washcloth with the iron, the steam being produced, this is going to soften and help stretch the leather. And be careful not to leave the iron in one place for too long, as it can scorch the leather. Always keep the iron moving using gentle pressure. Now it may require several passes, so make sure to re-dampen the washcloth if it becomes dry. So going back and forth, you're going to keep working on the creases until you're satisfied with the result. Now, how to reduce the likelihood the creases are going to return? Guys, you need to invest in a quality set of cedar shoe trees. What shoe trees do is that they lightly stretch the shoes back to their original shape, and they help to absorb any sweat from the shoes. These shoes right here, they're 5 years old and I wear them all the time. But notice that we've got minimal creasing. That's because after every use, I use a shoe tree. And this is kind of embarrassing, but yes, these shoes over here are also 5 years old. And as you can tell, I did not use shoe trees. So gentlemen, remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Next up, cracked and cut leather. Cracks form in leather when leather dries out. That being said, it's important to condition your shoes regularly to prevent this from happening. Cuts, on the other hand, are when something sharp slices into the upper of your leather shoe. If you wear your shoes on a regular basis, most likely you've got at least a few cuts on the upper. The reality of cuts and cracks is that you can't reverse the damage, but you can take steps to dramatically improve the appearance of your shoes. So like in the previous step, I want you to stuff newspaper into the shoe so it holds its shape during the repair process. I want you to use a cleaning brush to remove as much dirt and debris from the shoe as possible. Get rid of all of that sand, all that salt, anything that's stuck to the outside of the shoe. Next up, we're going to use a saddle soap to thoroughly clean the leather on the upper of the shoe. It's important that the shoes are dirt-free to prevent additional damage. To do this, you're going to wet a cloth and create a lather. You're going to apply the soap to the shoes, then wipe off any excess soap with a rag. Let the shoes dry for 10 minutes. Now the cleaning process will have dried out your leather shoes, so you want to use a leather conditioner or moisturizer to rehydrate your footwear. When you're applying the conditioner or moisturizer, focus on the cracks, but ensure you cover the whole shoe. You want to sand down the rough edges of the crack or cut with 220 grit sandpaper. Be very gentle and scrub the crack until it better blends in with the surrounding leather. Wipe clean and remove any dust. And on a side note, anything coarser than 220 grit sandpaper will damage the leather, so be careful. Now you're going to use a resin-based repair cream to fill in the crack. Be sure to get it in a color that matches your shoe. Gently dab the repair cream into the cracks, making sure you leave a smooth, even surface. Let it dry for 15 minutes. Next up, you want to apply a cream polish to get a uniform color, which I will cover in the next step. If you wear your dress shoes, you're going to accumulate scuffs and marks over time. But how to get rid of all the scuffs and annoying marks on your footwear? So one option is to use saddle soap to clean the shoes. This step will remove most superficial scuffs. You don't have saddle soap handy? You can actually use toothpaste to clean scuffs off of the leather. Using a toothbrush, preferably not the one used in your mouth, and a dab of toothpaste, scrub the scuff marks. Apply a little bit of water to help the toothpaste foam up, and then scrub in circular movements. Wipe off and then let the shoe dry. Voila! Scuff marks removed. Remember, after you clean your leather like this, you want to condition the leather. You want to re-moisturize it. After doing that, apply a wax polish to protect the shoes. Now, what about for stubborn scuffs, marks, and discoloration? The key here, gentlemen, is to use a cream polish. These are very effective at restoring a uniform color to your shoes and providing valuable moisture to the leather. To get started, take an applicator brush and apply a layer of shoe cream to the entire shoe. Make sure to get even coverage over the shoe upper. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, then buff your shoe with a horsehair brush. Now you want to inspect your footwear. Examine the shoe, checking for any remaining scuffs or marks you might have missed. If you missed any, then all you have to do is apply a second coat of shoe cream to get the job done. And of course, after this, don't forget to apply a wax polish. Wax polishes are great for not only giving a shine, but protecting your shoes from the elements. So what video to watch next? How about how to spit shine your shoes like a Marine? Now the tips and tricks in this video I took from my time in the Marine Corps, so hopefully you enjoy it, guys. Go check it out. It's a complete tutorial. I know that you're gonna love it.